Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mary Payne. I'm back from my little vacay. I'm here with my girl Keisha to talk about the finale of Life After Lockup, season 5, episode 22, or whatever it was, episode 10. I don't really know, but it's called Fighting Chance, which was that was a pretty good title.
Yes, it was most definitely because I think everyone wanted to fight Chance after that episode. What a
Great
mess. What a
point.
mess.
He's such a jerk. He just like thrives off of being a jerk, I think.
I think he does. It like pumps him up or something. I don't know. Maybe it makes his balls grow bigger. I mean, it's got
Ew.
to do something. He was so out of line. He really
Yeah.
was.
So gross.
Yeah.
Now let me
hmm
ask you, you've been sick this week and I've been out of town,
Yeah.
but I know you put out a call to the Pink Shade Facebook group for things to watch since you were
Right.
laid up in bed. So what did you watch?
Yes.
I'm dying to know if you watched the new show.
I didn't watch any new shows.
Oh, just old shows that gave you comfort.
Yes, that is exactly what I did because I would like nod off or just wasn't feeling great. Like the flu. First, I got bronchitis.
Mm,
And then after all the medicines they gave me, I'm like, something's wrong. And I go to the extreme. I'm like, I don't want it to be like a brain tumor. I just go to the extreme every time.
yes.
I'm sick.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then they're like, oh, you have the flu. I'm like, oh, great. Joy. So, yeah, I rewatch old shows. I must confess. But I do have a nice long list of shows that when I'm ready to watch something new, I will most definitely will watch them for sure. Yes.
It is hard when you don't feel good to pay attention to a new
hmm
show. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was so bored though. Oh God, I was so freaking bored. Not like leaving the house. Just
Yeah. Yeah. But
ugh.
when you're sick, girl.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad you feel
true.
better though. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, while you were out there cruising with the Mouseketeers,
Mhm.
Minnie and Mickey, Daisy and Donald and all that. I've been hacking and, you know,
Yep.
all
They
that
were all
good
there on
stuff.
the cruise. We were in adults only, everything, so we made kind of a point not to see them too often, but
Right.
if we wanted to, we could have. We really had a great time, and we did have bad weather in Mexico that led us to, like, cut that part of the trip short and then, get back to New Orleans. We got back to New Orleans, and it was, like, sideways pouring rain
Oh,
onto the ship. But
really?
yeah, but because it's in the Mississippi River and not in the ocean, it wasn't super
Right.
super rocky. So I mean, it was just like there's the rain. Let's go to
Mm.
bingo. I mean,
Let's go to
we,
bingo.
we love to bingo. I did win a fidget spinner on a game show, so don't be jealous. I have a new fidget spinner in my life.
I'm over here secretly hating.
I know it was the thing where like you had to guess a sound clip, and I guessed it correctly, and so I got it. And then we played another game show. Oh gosh, there's a dog barking. We played another game show where our team like lost by like 1 point. We were just
Oh no.
that was like 80s tunes, and you had to like guess the tune, and then your team had to like have a big reaction. So once we would guess it, and then she would play the full clip, we would have,
Mhm.
it was like your team has to have a big reaction. So we would just go completely crazy. And the one team, let's see, their song was Thriller, but they only give you like the first few little bits of it, and then you
Yeah,
have to guess. Yeah. So the person or whoever was the team captain for the other team likes Thriller, and like, yeah. So then they start to play the whole thing. These people went so crazy right now because they're trying to get the extra points for the team. And I mean, they're out
Mhm.
there like fully doing the Thriller dance.
I would expect nothing less than the
Oh, we
Thriller
were
dance.
crying, laughing because you're sitting in your chair and these people just jump up from their seats and they've got moves. And you're like, what is happening? And then one of our songs was that we had to guess was Time of Your Life from Dirty
Mhm.
Dancing.
Mhm.
So our whole team, once we guessed it, you got it correct. They play the good bit of the song. Everybody gets up. So I get up on the stage. Tay and I make Tay like shag dance with me.
Yeah.
So lots of people are doing all these crazy dances. This one couple, it was two women, and they were like pretending like they were going to do like the run and lift, you know?
No.
And the girl who ran the whole thing was like, I'll give y'all extra 5 points if somebody attempts that lift. And then they ran and like pretended like they were going to, they didn't. We still got the points. Another song was Maniac. The other team got it.
Mhm.
And they were, people came up and were doing their legs real fast, like the Maniac dance.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So freaking funny. And then she goes, I'll give anybody, I'll give you 5 extra points if you do like a real chair and real water. And so, I mean,
Like in Flashdance.
like in
Yeah. Okay.
Flashdance.
Yeah.
Yes. And what this like couple, I mean, literally like a complete like grandma, like got up on the chair and like threw herself back and like her
Are
son
you
poured water on her
serious?
face. I mean, it was
I
so
mean,
funny. And this is what you do on a boat. You just get like, we were crying laughing. We were like, we'll do anything for the 5 points to win nothing. By the way, that game we won nothing.
I've never seen Dirty Dancing.
But you know what I'm talking about. With the
Absolutely,
run
but
and the
yes.
lift.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know all the parts, all the sayings,
Yeah.
but I have never ever sat down and watched a movie ever in life. And people are like, "How is that possible?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just have
There's
never
so
ever
many
watched
iconic
it."
movies that people say all the time. And I'm like, I never saw that. Like I never saw
Really?
A Christmas Story. At Christmas I get. I never
Oh,
saw.
I've seen that one.
There's another one at Christmas that I get shamed for not seeing. It's like Nightmare. It's
A Nightmare Before Christmas?
well, I haven't seen that one either. But this was
Okay.
Miracle on 34th Street. I haven't seen that
I've
either.
seen that one like when I was a little kid. But I'm not real big on Christmas movies anyway.
You're not big on Christmas as a whole.
Yeah, I like scary Christmas movies. Yeah.
But you saw Nightmare
That's my
Before
thing.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that the movie you recommended, the Godzilla movie, was up for some Oscars for like visual stuff?
How could it not be? I mean, it was, I think so. A Bunky wrote maybe last week or the week before about how great it is. It's an outstanding movie.
It's
It
like
just,
Godzilla and the girl, or Godzilla saves the world, or something.
no, it's Godzilla -1.
Oh,
You could not have been more wrong there.
I
Yes.
know. I knew it was Godzilla, but it did get nominated for some Oscars for the visual stuff. So there you go.
I guess I'll take that.
There
Should
you go.
have
You'll have
been
it.
up for Best Picture.
All right. I think I've seen. I don't know what I've seen. I haven't seen many of the Best Picture nominees. I haven't seen
Right, you
many.
know what? Right now, I mean, it is like a drought with movies right now, and we love going to the movies. There's nothing
Yeah.
out to see right now. It's really, really bad.
I mean, I saw Barbie. That's up for Best Movie.
I saw Barbie. Yeah.
I did not
Do you
see
think it should be up
Oppenheimer.
for? Do you think it should have been nominated for Best Movie?
Yeah, it was very good. It was very clever. It was very well done.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
what was the next movie?
Oppenheimer, about the
Yeah,
nuclear
Dave said I
bomb.
wasn't. Yeah, he told me I wasn't mature enough to try to watch that, and I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree with that. As far as you
Yeah.
and as far as me, I think I'd have to get real serious. I don't
He's
think
like,
I have it in
I don't
me.
think you want to see that one. I was like, okay, you're probably right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
That's like them trying to teach me historical things when we were in London. I was like, I don't know. I don't care.
Where's the Louis Vuitton store?
Yeah, I gotta go. All right, let's talk about these losers. You warned me before I watched it that it was kind of boring, except for the Chance and Tayler stuff. I do feel we got some stories wrapped up, so I'm glad about that.
Yes. Some of these people, with the exception of maybe one couple, we never need to see again. Like their
I agree.
stories or they're done. And what I think it would be Kerok and Britney. I would like to see what the next stage is with them, but I have no interest in any of the others. Like they've run their course.
Yeah, yeah, and as much as a lot of these couples bug, at least there were some positive
True.
outtakes to
Yeah.
their stories. Let's
I
start with
agree.
one of those. So that is
Okay.
Joy and Red. I liked that we had a positive ending here in that she dumped his ass. I liked that.
Yeah, she did. She did. Mm-hmm.
Because one would never think
Good
she
for
would.
her. No.
No.
I would have bet money that she would not have. But I feel like, and this is just from my Facebook and social media snooping,
Yeah.
I feel like they got back together at some point though.
Really?
Because remember when the show first came out,
Mm-hmm.
she had like on her, I want to say her Instagram page, she had his last name hyphen onto her last name.
Oh, well, that's weird since they were not married.
Yeah, well, you know, women do that all the time now. It's just like, oh, he's not going to ask me to marry, so I'm just going to steal his last name.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong, but I do remember seeing that.
Huh.
Mhm.
Well, if anybody has any scoop on them, let us know. Keisha's been sick in the bed. She hadn't had time to do her research.
Mm-mm.
So we open with where we last saw them a couple weeks ago, which is her sitting on the couch and crying and saying, "I've done all this shit for you, and the minute you get out, you go and bang another girl." And he says, "I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I've been messed up my whole life." This is what Chance already tried to pull that too, right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
poor me. And she goes, "But you don't have to be. You're choosing to be." And
Yeah.
also, I said, "Why are all the seams facing out on her couch?" All her pillows were faced the wrong way with all the seams facing out.
I couldn't get past the furry journal that she was writing in. I just
Yes.
I don't it did something to me. I don't know.
So he says, "What I did was wrong. I was just irritated with you in the moment. I didn't even want to do it. I didn't even want to do it."
Yeah.
And she says, "Was it Casey?" And he goes, "No, it was
Oh.
Julie." So she's got a list.
I'm like, you know what? He admitted that he did it. Let's not run through the list because you're just she hurts her own feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I feel
do.
like she completely knew that he had cheated. She knew. Mary Payne, she
I
knew.
know. I know. She didn't know when, but she knew he had.
Yeah, it's either am I going to forgive him and move on, but no, she had to have all the details about like she had to know what she already knew.
Yeah, you're right. And she was like, "Did you do that to get back at me? Since I got pregnant with Sway when you were in prison?" And he says over and over, "That was not the reason. It's not why I did it. It was just heat of the moment." And then
And
she
that was
was like,
stupid. No, he should say, yes, that's exactly the reason why I
"Yeah,"
did it. Yeah. I mean,
because
what
she
can
would
she
accept that.
say? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a stupid liar. You're like, this was your opportunity to say, yes, exactly. I felt that I owed you. I still owe you two more because I know you slept with 3 guys at least. So, yes, that is absolute. I did it to get revenge on you. You pissed me off. And I'm like, you know what? She fucked these guys. I'm going to go fuck a vampire too. So, there you go. There you go.
Oh my God. And she was like, "Well, did you at least use a condom?" And he
Ugh.
goes, "No, I didn't." And she goes, "Well, you need to call her up." And he goes, "I haven't talked to her since that day."
She
But that
got
was that was a rumor, so probably that's why she said that.
And then, he's like, yeah, she totally dropped me. I'm like, yeah, because she drank all your blood and she went about her way. Her iron
Mm.
levels went up after she had a bit of red and she didn't need him anymore. The last I heard about Julie, she had been arrested for like possession of fentanyl.
Oh, Julie.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
the
Um,
company you keep.
and then he swears he was only with his sister when he was home. He never saw anybody. And she's like, "I don't trust you. And I don't know if I want to continue on with this. Like, it's so much for me. It's so much." And then he says, "Will you give me a chance? Just give me a chance to prove it right." And she goes, "I think you need to go to a hotel," which I couldn't believe she did that. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
and
it.
then I kept wondering, well, is she going to pay for the hotel room? Because he doesn't have any money.
He better call Julie. So,
Somebody.
outside, she does like a stand up and ITM, and she says, "I'm just not happy, and I can't go on like this." Scrape, scrape, scrape at
Yeah,
her
yeah.
face. Yeah.
Mhm. All the
S-
tears.
all the tears. And then he says, Joy putting him out made him feel like, maybe he won't see Sway anymore. Man, he's losing his whole family.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was quite interesting that he didn't say, "I'm gonna miss Joy. I may not see Joy again." He said, "Sway," because I don't think he really likes Joy. I really
I don't
don't.
either. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't
There was
either. I
no
think
chemistry there at all.
he liked the idea of it, I think.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he liked having a place to live that wasn't at his mom's house, and he
Yes.
wanted to get out of the environment that he in, and he wanted a playmate. He wanted to go hang out with Sway. That's what he mostly did while he was there anyway.
Yeah. And I was gonna say he could find some 3-year-olds to hang out with at his mom's house, but no, she's
Oh,
not allowed
no, they're not
she's not
allowed
allowed to be not
no,
allowed to be around with
uh-uh.
children. We
And
don't know
notice
what
we haven't
happened.
seen the mom since then, like, when all that stuff came out, we've not seen it. We've been in her house, but we
Yep.
have not seen his mom. I wouldn't wanna show my
Mm-mm.
face either.
She should hide. So now we go back to Joy and she's changing sheets and crying. And she's like, see, his stuff is here. It's like his bonnet. Oh, I just want to get all his stuff out of the house and move on. So her cousin
That was so
Crystal,
funny about the bonnet
what?
part. Like, I wonder is that how producer James feels when I leave? Like, oh, she left her fucking bonnet. There's her bonnet right there because I've got like 30 bonnets. That's our house is full of hair bonnets everywhere. Everyone has one.
And do you just leave it in the bed when you get up?
Girl, it between my eyelashes, hair extensions, and my bonnets, I leave like a trail. You always know where I've been because I just have a trail of my shit. Yeah, you could find a bonnet anywhere. Yeah, just never know. Under a pillow, there's a
You
bonnet. Under a blanket, there's a bonnet. Yeah,
never know when you might need one.
you don't.
So she flips that out of the bed and's like, see, I've got to, I got to, pack him up and whatever. So they walk in and they're like, what's going on? And she goes, so, he cheated with the girl Barry, and she had been sending him money. She was one of the girls in the book, and he's gone back to Missouri. We're done. And I'm packing all his shit to send to him. And they're like, well, we can definitely help. And so Shauna says, he's a totally different person than he was behind bars. Well,
They all are.
duh.
I
Duh.
don't understand why they don't get this concept. It's like, yes, they are. They only know how to be in prison when they. I mean, they're told when to wake up, when to eat, when to work out, when to take a shower. Like, of course, they're
Yeah.
different once they have some freedom. That's why they
Yeah.
need to do the Keisha plan. Come out and enjoy your freedom for a little while.
I agree. But sometimes it doesn't work. Like Quaylen did that and he had a year off and he came back and apparently he's still going back to jail.
Girl, I heard some new stuff about Quaylen too.
Oh God, when we get there, you have to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Joy says, yeah, I believed everything he told me and it would be up to me if I wanted to forgive him, but I don't want to forgive him. And I talked to Sway and said, are you okay if, dad leaves? And Sway said, he's fine for it to be just me and him. So weird. Poor
Oh,
Sway.
yeah.
Now we see Red. He's at home. He's sitting in one of those two full offices in the
Yeah.
house and
Mhm.
he's calling about a warehouse job, and he's saying, I applied online. I was wondering what the status was. And the woman on the other end is talking to him. It's been about 3 days since he was home. So that's
Yeah.
good. He's home for 3 days, already looking for a job. That's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's living with the family, living with his mom, obviously.
Of course.
And he's coping with the realization that he's lost his family. He's lost Joy and Sway. And Joy was great. She really cared about him. She did everything for him. And if he could do it again, he just would not have cheated.
I think that's what he liked about Joy was that she did everything for him. He just did not like Joy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the warehouse job lady on the phone says, she has to consult with her husband, but she doubts with his background they're going to be able to give him a job. But good luck and don't go back.
Don't go
Bye.
back now, you hear? I loved her honesty about it. They're like, ooh, no, my husband's not gonna, no, but
Mm-mm.
better luck next time.
But he was polite on the phone, so
He
maybe that'll
was.
give him some points. Now we're back to New Mexico, and she has a thank you card that she's writing, and she's writing Red a thank you card for wasting her time. Our family was destroyed thanks to you. Thanks. It's kind of funny.
Joy, was it? Yeah, that's what that stuff like that, like her writing the note makes me feel like she'd give him another chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if
But
I would have shipped all of his stuff.
yeah, I hope he's paying for it. But I mean, I guess with what
Yeah.
money?
I would have been like, if you want your shit, you better send me the shipping cost.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a lot. He had a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
including that
It,
Xbox or whatever.
and that
So,
bonnet.
and that bonnet,
Mm-hmm.
one of four.
Right.
So, they're talking heads. Joy says, I was so consumed with this relationship with Red, and I should have been giving myself the attention. We get some flashbacks of their relationship, including the engagement and stuff. And she tells us she will never date an inmate again, but I will never settle. I will stand up with myself for their self. I'll be with myself. The end.
Yeah,
And
she
then
wasn't all consumed with her relationship because she's out there sleeping with other guys. Come on now, Joy Nomi.
that's a great point.
And she loves a
Great
good
point.
morning text from several different guys. Makes her feel so good. It's better than
Yeah.
coffee in the morning.
Don't text me in the morning. I'm like barely awake right now. As you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
from my
You're on
yawning. Okay.
vacation mode.
I
Recovering.
am. And I didn't, also like we had to get up early this morning. I mean, I know I have to get up early. I don't sleep all night.
Can't sleep. Yep.
I just, because I'm like, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, so the final scene with these two is Red gets a call. There's a girl's like, "Hey, what are you doing? I wanted to know if you wanted to link up." And he's like, "All right." He says,
3 days.
he's 3
Three
days.
days.
He's in a new relationship. It's not all
Yeah.
that deep. It's just a super good friend. Everything
That's
happens
what
for a
they all
reason.
are.
Mhm. Everything happens for a reason. And then we see the Facebook post of him holding hands with somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The person
Yep.
had a lot of tattoos on their hands, so it could have been Julie Vampire.
She looked like she had too much color on her skin. She had healthy looking skin, like blood was flowing.
Oh, I see.
Very unlike
Um,
Julie.
blood was flowing. Oh,
Yeah.
Julie. Okay. All right. Let's move on to baby Britney and Kerok. So he comes in their bedroom and she is drinking like a glass of rosé. Her nails are insane. Her
Mary
nails are
Kay, I
insane.
hardly could make it through this scene with that half eyelash off her. You have to feel that. Like, I've worn strips before. You
Yeah.
can feel when it's off. Like, it's actually a little bit irritating like that, but it affected her not. And why didn't Kerok notices and says something about everything? Why would he not say, "Babe, I need you to go fix that eyelash real quick before we continue this scene"? It was just
Yeah.
weird. I couldn't stop looking at it. It just
It was. And then
bothered
later
me.
on, it wasn't so obvious as it was when he first came in. She just had to get like two fingers and like press them back
Oh
together.
yeah,
But
press them back
God,
together. But no, she's too busy crying and sipping on that rosé.
her nails, though, they're like that inverted, instead of being round, they're like scooped out at the
Uh-huh.
top.
That's the
I don't know
style.
they're so ugly. And then they're
I think
all like stripes and diamonds and
I think that style because my masseuse was telling me that her son wanted them. And I think they're called duck, like the duck style. That's the shape of it.
okay, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. All right. I don't know. Duck. All right.
Why?
I think it was odd.
Very odd. So he comes in with that. She's got that eyelash hanging off, and he says, "How was work?" She says to him, "How was work?" And he says, "Good."
Yeah.
I guess he's gotten a HVAC job.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "Why aren't you at work?" And she says, "Oh, I called out sick. I've been really depressed after leaving my grandma. And, I just been thinking so much about moving to New York. What do you think?" And he says, "That is a hard pass. I just took you to visit them. Like, shouldn't that be enough?"
Yeah. And there's one thing about Brittany. She's gonna miss class or she's gonna miss work. Like always,
That's
you can
right.
just bet on it. Yeah. I
That's
was a
right.
little bit surprised that she approached him with, "Let's move to New York."
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
So he probably hasn't been out long enough to even be able to move, even if he wanted to. But
Right.
it's just sort of like the thing about the baby. Like, she's a long term
Mm-hmm.
planner and he's not that way. Like, he's like, "What are we doing right now?" He doesn't
Right.
want to think about 6 months or 1 year.
And I
He
don't
does.
really blame him. He just
Yeah.
got back. His mom has been sick. And it's like, God damn, I take you for one trip and now you want to move to a whole nother state. Like, really? Like, can we not just be comfortable a little bit? Can you not go back to school? Can you not finish your education? I
Yeah.
mean, there's so much stuff that they need to complete where they are now.
Yes. Yes, totally. So, she's like, "You get to be around your family all the time." He was like, "But I was gone for such a long time." And she
Mhm.
goes, "Well, maybe it's something we could think about for the future, like next year." And he goes, "If it's for next year, why are we talking about it?" He's like,
Sure.
he goes, "My mom could get sick again. I was gone for 7 years." And she was like, "Yeah, but you're saying that. And the same thing could happen to my grandma. I didn't get to see her for 7 years. I never had a phone call with her for 3 years because my parents had lied about where I was." And
Right.
then he starts to do this whole like, "But what kind of son would I be like if I left?" And she goes, "But what kind of daughter am I with my grandmother? Like, that's not fair for
Mm.
you to say that." And I have to agree with her. And I did appreciate how they did come to an understanding here.
Which is not always the case with those two. It's
You're right.
usually lots of yelling, tears,
Hmm.
slamming doors, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so they go back and forth, and she's like, "You were always able to have phone calls at least with your family, and I never had that. And, they need me just like your family needs you." And they go back and forth. And he goes, "I'm sorry. if one day you feel like we need to move to New York, we can do that. I don't want to fight or whatever. And that's when her eyelash seemed to be back on at that point. Um, and he's like, so they call Abuela. He goes, let's call Abuela, see if that'll make you feel better. So they call Anita, and she says, oh, I hope that you're thinking about moving here, and I'll find you guys a studio to live in. Our
Right.
new folk can find a job for Kerok. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then they hang up, and she says, I hope that you'll understand we should be able to split our time. And he goes,
Yeah.
we can split the time. You just have to give me some
Right.
time. And so
I
I understand both their
agree.
points there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. And I actually sided a little bit more with Kerok on this one, which is not usually the case with me. But yeah, I mean, you could totally go visit. Can they even move right now if they both wanted to? I don't know. They just got job. It's just Brittany is one of the, I call them microwave bitches. They want everything real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better just to put it in the oven, let it bake completely and all that. Like give it time. It comes out better. But she wants everything. Every time she gets an idea, she wants the whole thing super quick.
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be like immediately on her
Right
terms.
now. Yeah.
So now we have a service going on at a rainbow themed, inclusive type church, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so Kerok says he's going to be baptized and he wants to be washed of all the things he's done. And they're in like nice white outfits with lots of other people. And so
Mm-hmm.
they're headed to like an oceanfront park for the baptism. So Anita, Abuela, calls while she's in the car and she's like, yeah, I'm going to be baptized. And I'm not going to be like, I'm going to be baptized, but yes, it's Christian. And Abuela's like, like your mother? She goes,
Right.
no, not like my mother. I don't see myself that way. I just see myself as a child of God.
Her mom is so awful. She has practically turned the abuela away from Christianity altogether. Like,
I
you know what I
know.
mean? It's just like,
Yes.
this woman is just awful, just really awful.
Everybody talks about her. And so she's like, my grandmother accepts me even if I'm not Catholic, and I just didn't ever like how rigid the Catholic Church was. I just want like a lively church where you can feel like the spirit of Jesus, the clapping and
I
the singing, just what she
as
wants.
a Catholic school kid, she's telling the whole complete truth. It is just like the same exact. We didn't start having fun until we got a gay priest, and that's the honest to God truth. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Was he out gay in your Catholic church?
I mean, he didn't say he was out, but everything else said he was out. And this was me being a little
Really?
kid. Yeah.
And
And
you were
that's when
little.
things got really lively at school. It's just like, okay, I can kind of not snore over here in this corner because, he got things on and popping in church. So,
That's
yeah,
fun.
it was interesting to see the new priest walking around, with hot pink wind shorts on. It was fun. It was
All
interesting.
right.
It
All
made me
right.
want
Good
to go
for
to
him.
school every day.
That's
I was
right.
like, yeah,
All right. We got a fun priest. I love it.
yeah.
So a bunch of people are getting baptized. Obviously, they're all in white, and Kerok goes and asks to be dunked 3 times because that's Kerok. He's going to be
She,
extra.
sh- she should have made him drown a little bit just for being extra. She should have said,
She's like, "You think this is fun for me? I'm cold out here." Now, come on
right,
now.
exactly. Dump me
One
again.
dunk, one dunk per customer.
Amen.
So we see Pastor, and her name is Joy, Pastor Joy, and she says she's very happy that she's able to do these baptism because some
Mhm.
churches would deny baptism to all these individuals, but
Yeah.
everyone's a child of God and they should all have a church to go to, and that we loved Pastor Joy. She seemed to have the right mentality.
Yes.
So they're doing a talking head together, the last one, these two, Kerok and Brittany, and she cries and was like, when I was young, I didn't think I would make it past 20. And everything is so beautiful. And I wanted to stay in that water longer because I could really feel the spirit. And, I was so grateful Kerok was there with me. And, Kerok is, wiping off her face and everything. And he says he is
Right.
praying that Brittany gets the love and forgiveness she needs and is able to, move on and not move to New
Yeah.
York.
Right.
Okay. So that's the end of them. Now we go to Melissa and her nose and Louie. All right.
Oh
Before
boy.
we just get into it, what's your thought
Okay.
on the nose reveal?
I mean, I think I've expressed my thoughts on her new nose several times. I think that it looks like whoever Melissa's side of the family she got that nose from had sex with a pig, and that was the nose that was created. It's bad.
Oh my God, Keisha.
It's bad. It's It's Mary Payne. Like, I have seen more posts when people are posting about this episode. It has been primarily, of course, Chance, but the nose. Like, the nose
Yeah.
needs its own Instagram page. It's
Oh
awful,
no.
Mary Payne. And I've seen updated pictures and it's still not great. It was she needs to go on botched and get it fixed.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
It's not. I mean, I think she likes being on the camera, so
Yeah, I'll just say this. I don't think this is the nose that she wanted. I really
I don't
don't.
think so either. And here's the thing about it. I think she likes that turn up look because that's really in style now,
Yeah,
but it wasn't the look for the nose that she already had,
right.
which
Because
is what
I
the
mean,
plastic surgeon should have told you.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with all that. So it's just so similar to the two women on Real Housewives of New Jersey. I mean,
Yeah.
and the nose jobs they got, and they both turn up like that.
And
And it
they
just
look
doesn't
okay with
go.
theirs, but Melissa's just, it doesn't. Mm-mm. No, I feel bad.
So I felt, yeah. All right. So she goes to meet him at the beach, and we get the big reveal. And he says, "It looks good." And the first thing he says, "It's not too much like this," and pushes his finger straight up.
Because it's too much like that. It's too straight up. Yeah.
And he's
I think
being
he was
very
caught off
sweet.
guard.
And he's
Yes,
being very
he
sweet
was.
to her. And of course, they live
Yeah.
together. So he's seen it when she's changed her bandages and stuff. So I don't know why, you
Yeah,
know.
that's, yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so Melissa says, "I don't love it right now, but the healing process is not over. It's still a little swollen. And, I hope in the end it's going to look like I want it to." So I hope
Um,
so too.
I
So
don't think
'cause
the swelling was the issue, though. Was it? I
maybe
think
she
it
felt like
was
the tip of it was too swollen still. Maybe.
okay. Well, I remember
Because-
when Jennifer Aiden got hers done.
Yeah.
It did take a while for it to settle where it wasn't as bad as it originally,
Yeah.
when she first got it done.
Yeah. I agree. So let's see. So they're on the beach and she says, "Thank you so much for helping me. And I'm sorry I was so, hard to deal with." And he's like, bitchy.
Yeah,
And
she
he's
was.
like, "I haven't been out a year, but we've done so much. And I'm so glad I moved here." She's like, "You've already done mostly, what you promised you would. And I'm so glad you came to New Jersey." And he was like, "You really lit a fire under my ass and you pushed me. And now we have each other forever." And
That
then he
was
says, "We have a bright future together and I want to take it to the next step. And I got you a little something." So he reaches out for something. And of course, she's like, every girl thinks that's going to be
the
the engagement.
ring.
And of course they staged it that way.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a message in a bottle and
Right.
he can't get it out. Everything is beach
Of
themed
course
with these
not.
two. Yeah.
Mhm. That's her style. She really likes that theme.
Yeah, she does. And they live at the beach. So. And so he gets her the message and finally they get it out. And he just wrote her this letter saying like how much she means to him. And, "I'm going to make you my wife very soon." And
It
she's like,
was
"Very
very
soon." Yeah.
Valentine's Day cards that you give to all the kids in your class, except he added the marriage part to it.
"Dear Melissa, you are very pretty.
Yes. Yeah.
You are my girlfriend.
Yes, basically that's what it was.
Check
Gotta
this
love
box if you
Bluey.
want to get married." Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Um, so they joke around like fake teeth, fake nose, and she goes, "Pretty soon,
Yeah.
fake boobs, because if we're gonna get married, like I can't have these boobs in a wedding dress." And he's like, "Oh my God."
Oh my gosh.
And he says, "I like how you are right now." And he's probably like, "Don't botch your boobs too. Come on, girl."
No, can we get used to the nose first before we go to the boobs? Hopefully she won't go to the same plastic surgeon to get her boobs done.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
And then they do a talking head together and she says their future holds him putting a ring on it. And she says, "How long do I have to wait?" And she's like, "I just need like a time frame." And he goes, "Maybe like within a year." And it's like, "A year?" And she goes, "In 6 months, we have to have an engagement ring, new boobs, and plan a wedding."
She
Wow.
forgot for a second there that he's just working at the pizzeria. He's got to work his way up now.
That's right.
Well, actually, they could put it on a credit card if she start using all the credit cards for plastic surgery.
That's true. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go to Lindsey and Blaine. Okay. So we
Oh,
didn't get to the bottom of this, by the way. We did not get to the bottom of this.
we got to the bottom of it when she didn't say anything about it after he accused her of it. I think that said everything we needed to know.
She didn't say, like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
Nothing
When?
like that. No,
Who?
nothing. She was silent. And when is Lindsey ever silent? She always has something to say.
Yeah,
That gave guilt. That said guilt to me right there.
I agree. So we're back at the fight where he's screaming at her, "You ran off with the married fucking man."
Mm-hmm.
And the producer says, "Why is he accusing you of cheating?" And she goes, "I don't know. He's just digging. It's total bullshit, and he knows it." But we don't get any other
Mm-hmm.
explanation. And
Nope.
he's
And
still,
she wasn't trying to defend herself while he's screaming. And like she sat her ass down on that couch and took it.
and she's not even saying like, "Okay, first of all, you and I, if you're bringing that up, we both know that we were broken up, and I did not
Right.
know the person was
Mm-hmm.
married, and I kissed him in a bar, and it wasn't a relationship."
Mm-hmm.
Like she could have like explained it, but she said
Nothing.
she was just like, she's like, "He's just digging. It's just bullshit," and that's it.
Okay, Millie. All right, Lindsey.
So he's screaming at her. He's like, "You don't love me. You don't understand the pain you've inflicted on me. And I need to know. This is the moment of truth. What are you doing?" And so she says, "I fucking love you, you dumbass." And he's like, "Who you are." And she goes, "Why don't you take a minute and think about how this has been for me?" And he's like, he stands up and he says something. And he's ranting and raging. And then he's like, "Fuck you." And then he
Yeah.
starts getting all his stuff.
Yeah. He was pretty angry. He was an angry little possum.
He
That's for
really
damn sure.
was.
And he had all the
Facial
facial expressions were just, yeah,
facial
on
expressions on
point.
10.
Yeah.
So he does a talking head. He says, "I really did think Lindsay was the person for me, but I'm clearly wrong. Why am I marrying a person facing 40 years? I mean, even if she only did 10, like
That's
I could
true.
hold, I could hold her down, but she's nothing but a lying, conniving, con artist, manipulative, narcissist, self-centered, self something." He said self-centered, self something, C word.
I mean, I'm not going to agree with the C word, but a lot of the things that he said are true about Lindsay.
Yeah. He just straight out called her a C word right there on camera.
He did. I mean, and that,
Yeah.
that usually is reserved for like the worst of the worst with me. And I
Yeah.
don't think she does. I don't think she deserved that one.
Yeah. He said, "I deserve to be with someone who respects me and appreciates me and respects my worth. I've had about all I can take." Now,
Yeah.
back at the house, I guess he packed up his bags and put them on his four-wheeler.
Yeah, I didn't get that part. Why didn't he take the truck? And then it didn't look like the four wheeler's headlights worked, just like the backlights did.
I don't know if he was like going to drive the four-wheeler up onto the back of the truck and take it, but it's funny because she rolled her eyes like, "Okay, ride up on your four-wheeler." I mean, it
Yeah,
was kind of
yeah.
funny.
Poor thing.
Um,
I,
and then she says she was glad the kids weren't there to witness all that, and she really loves him, and she doesn't know what she's going to do.
maybe not fuck around with a married man. Start there.
I mean, I guess. I think if Melissa wants to feel better about her bad nose job, she should treat herself and go to quince.com and get her some affordable luxury. She could get a cashmere sweater for $50. She could get those Ponte pants that I love. I also got the pair of those cute black flat tennis shoes. And they just put out some new leather purses on there that are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So Melissa likes the good things in life just like I do, but we can't always afford it. And if she is going to pay for a boob job after she paid for that nose job, she's really going to need to shop at Quince. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. And we love that. As you guys know, I love my cashmere from Quince. And you know what I just looked at this week? A bathing suit. A bathing suit. That's right. It's almost bathing suit season, and they got some real cute ones there. So give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/pinkshade for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That is QUINCE.com/pinkshade to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pinkshade. All right, Mike and Justine, we didn't get much. We see mom sneaking around, ding, 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 ding,
Mm-hmm.
with the paternity test. But she says, "I know Justine is a good woman. I know it's Michael's baby. I don't want any bad blood. Justine is good for Michael, and I've never seen him like this with anyone, so I know that it's fine." So she's
Okay.
had a change of heart.
A big one.
Justine and Mike are sitting with the new baby. They're calling Maddie. thank goodness.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he tells her, my mom and Melody want to come to Vegas. And she's like, I'm so excited about Melody coming. That's going to be great.
Right.
And he goes, what about my mom? Like, she just wants to come so she could be helpful. And she goes, look, I get it. Like, you were locked up for a long time. And really, she just wants to spend time with her son. And there's nothing wrong with
Right.
that. And, it'll be tight, but, whatever. And he's like, yeah, Melody will be helpful with the baby too. And Justine says,
Yeah.
Melody really had to raise Mason and Nova. And I don't think she should
Right.
have to do that. She should just be 16 and have
That's right.
experiences, not too many experiences, but she shouldn't have to feel like
Be
she's
a
moving
kid.
there to like help us. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they made all those kids,
that's right. That's right.
and they made a lot.
Um, and then Justine says, they're moving in a week or so, and she's so happy they're going to have their own house. It's been her dream. And they talk, and he says, like, you meant so much to me. And before you came along, I had so much rage because of you. I'm a good person, blah, 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 blah. The end.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Lovey dovey. And
Bye
and
bye.
I heard they said they didn't want to be back on the show.
Really?
So we'll see. I mean, with their budding rap career and, credit repair, maybe they just don't need that WeTV money anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of kids to
Yeah,
film.
that's a lot of mouths to feed.
So now we go to Chevelle and Quayline. Now, these two.
Oh my God. Oh
So
my God.
Chevelle is wearing a waist trainer as she goes to the park.
No, she came fully prepared. Like when you go to confront your ex-mother-in-law, this is how you
Yeah.
go prepared. Your wig, your mustache, and your waist trainer. Because that's how she went.
She did look like she could have used some waxing on that lip.
It was another bad wig, horribly placed. Waist trainers are not part. It's not your outfit. They go underneath the clothes. It
Mhm.
was just, and it was really tight, really
Really,
tight.
it was like pushing everything up into her armpits.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But okay, all right.
And then Quaylen had a comb stuck in the back of his hair, and the
I don't
sides of
know
his
what
head were like super shaved.
he looked like a baby buzzard. Have you ever seen a cartoon baby buzzard? That is what Quaylen looked like.
Because he's got all those tattoos on the side of his face, and then he had
Yeah,
it all shaved
all
back here. I was like, "What?
shaved. And
It's
then the
not
big
cute."
eyes. I'm like, he looks like a damn baby buzzard. What is He looks worse with each episode.
He does. You're
I
right,
don't know
he
what is going
does.
on. He just looks bad. And he didn't look like that. When you go back to when he first came on the show, he didn't look like that. He looks like he's
Mm.
living like a rough life right now. He looks like he just got out of prison.
Yeah,
Looks
he looks
bad.
real, like, greasy and sweaty.
And like he's lost a lot of weight. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we know. Alright. Oh, do you have something you were gonna tell me about him?
So someone sent me something. I'm sorry, Bunky, I can't remember your name. A video from According to Amber, who she follows a lot of these shows as well.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Quaylen's prison lover has reached out to her with lots and lots of receipts.
A girl or a boy?
I said prison lover. He's only in prison with men.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know like a pen pal
Yeah.
lover.
Oh, no. They were in there together, full on relationship.
Okay.
This person has reached out to Shavel and said, look, this is what's going on. We're still in contact. There were screenshots of them like FaceTiming one another, all just like Chance. Quaylen is for everybody. He just
Right.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's hooked up with other women. He's back to doing drugs, and
Yeah.
he just wasn't ready to be out of prison. Yeah,
Yeah.
not at
It's
all.
too bad because his mom really, really seems sweet.
She does. And I'm sure she's pretty disappointed in the choices that he's been making, especially with the
Yeah.
cheating and the drugs.
Yeah.
That's bad. Yeah.
Oh. And what about Q Baby? Don't disappoint Q Baby.
Well, all I can say is that all the stuff that he's been putting Chevelle through has made her have a total glow up because she looks pretty good right now.
She does. I saw she
Yeah.
posted a picture the other day, and it was even a bad angle, and I was like, she looks good.
Yeah. Getting rid of
Go, girl.
Quaylen did the body good.
So, they're taking Maila to the park, and they're going to meet with the bio dad's mom, Sonia. So this is Maila's biological dad's. So it's Maila's grandmother. Her name is Sonia.
And she looks
So
just like Debbie Allen. I don't know if you know who Debbie Allen is.
yes, I know who Debbie Allen is. Yeah,
She
yeah,
looks
yeah.
just like her.
And so Maila goes off to play, and Shavel says to Quaylen, like, I talked to Maila about the adoption. She doesn't really understand it. Like, I'm not really sure
Mhm.
about it. And he's like, well, you'll have to talk about it. You going to talk to her about it? So Sonia arrives. She hugs Shavel. She meets Quaylen, and she hugs Maila. She's so excited to see her. And she tells us in her talking head, she goes, I've made attempts to be with Maila and be in her life, but sometimes the phone is not answered. Sometimes they, don't get
Mhm.
back with me. And I'm,
Right.
she's like, I have grandmother rights. So Quaylen leaves the scene, takes Maila off to play with the dog and everything. And Sonia tells Chevelle, she says, I am here for my lineage. All of a sudden, Sonia,
Yeah.
she flipped real quick. I think this was a very, very, very long scene because the way they chopped it up was like
Yeah.
all of a sudden they were fine.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Um, so Chevelle says, Quaylen has been there for Maila when her dad is not there. And Sonia gets an attitude over and over. And she over and over, she's like, her daddy loves her. Her daddy loves her. Her
Yeah.
daddy loves her. Her daddy
Right.
loves her. I was like, you said it in 12 ways. We got it.
Yeah. We got it. Most definitely. We got it.
And Chevelle says, yeah, but he doesn't act like a father. And Sonia
Right.
hits the table and says, you are trying to remove him from Maila's life. And she says, and Chevelle goes, we were in Kansas City for 2.5 weeks over the summer. And Sonia goes, and who was she with? And she goes, she was with you? She goes, no, she was with us. Meaning
Us.
like her
Mhm.
ne'er-do-well son came over and saw his kid. Um,
Yeah, he doesn't seem like father of the year, but I don't think that Quaylen is as good of a father figure as Chevelle presents him to be.
I mean, or what she thinks at least. I mean, she thinks,
Right.
And Chevelle says, accountability, stability, consistence. This is what he needs all of that. He doesn't have it. And,
Right.
he doesn't have any of that. And this is your child. And you should wake up and be like, what's my child doing? And so, of
True.
course, that made her mad. And Sonia says, this is why you can't get what you need. Because, oh, look who's calling me. And it's him. And Chevelle says,
I
well, he
thought she
should
was
have
going to
been.
answer the phone.
It was weird.
The
And
way that
Chevelle
she
goes,
did that.
she was like, well, he should have been here. And she's like, he doesn't even know I'm here. He didn't even, oh, that's how you're going to have to, oh, we should have been here. He doesn't even know I'm here. And then Sonia gets like all riled up and hits the table again.
Yes,
And
she did.
Chevelle's like, we've even thought about, Quaylen adopting her. And Sonia's like, nope, 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 nope. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Y'all gonna make me, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
That is
And
the
then
worst thing for you to tell the grandmother.
I know.
I don't
To
know
be like, I'm
why she
legally
said
cutting
that.
you out of the life. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. Like, especially since you haven't had the conversation with the dad. Well,
Right.
hold on. I'm sorry. Especially since your daughter doesn't want it to happen. She doesn't even want him as a stepdad.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Uh,
So, she says, we're not doing that. No, no, no. We are not doing that. And
mhm.
Chevelle says, you can't get mad if another man is in her life and doing. And, Chevelle says, Maila has known him since she was 3. And she was like, oh, because she talked to him on the phone. Like she's trying to, basically, he's a prisoner, is what she's saying.
Exactly. And she's
And,
right.
and she's right. And she goes, no, he went with me on visits. And Sonia rolled her eyes so far, I thought she was going to fall off that bench.
Yeah,
She was
I would
like,
not want my grandchild going on prison visits with her mom.
no,
Uh-uh.
no. And she goes, and Sonia just looks at her like, are you kidding? Is anybody hearing this? Like, are you kidding me?
Right. We heard you.
And
We heard you, Sonia.
and then Sonia's over there in her talking head and she cries and she goes, this is not just about her dad. She has a whole family that loves her.
Mhm.
And then Maila and Quaylen come back and everything's fine. And Sonia
Yeah.
says, well, the conversation took some turns, but I love you to Chevelle and I love Maila.
Right.
And then Sonia says to Quaylen, I still want to talk to you. And he's like, me? Huh?
Uh-oh. Mm.
Oh. So she starts off calm and says, like, are you willing? Are you willing to work with my son as the father? And
Mhm.
Quaylen says, I've reached out to him many times to do a man-on-man conversation. I haven't heard from him. And, Maila
Mm.
needs a father, like a real father. And I just think that your son could work a lot harder to be a dad. So
Okay.
I'm sure that popped off too, but we didn't see the rest of it because they made
Right.
this episode short. Um, and Talking Head Quaylen says, being a real dad to Maila is important to me. And, Chevelle and Maila are my real family. But then you shouldn't be in a
Mm.
hotel room with meth or whatever you were caught with on your birthday.
And with another woman and all that kind of good stuff. They are never thinking about their ready-made families when they're out doing dirty shit.
That's right.
They
You're
just
right.
don't. Totally slips their minds.
Oh my God. Okay. So somebody wrote me and reminded me.
Okay.
Okay. So Tayler and Chance. So I always am like, he calls them little squirts or little something. Little peanuts.
Squirts.
It's shrimps. It's shrimps.
It's shrimps.
It's shrimps. This person wrote me and said he always calls them little shrimps because I always say
I thought
squirt
it was
because I
little
could never
squirts.
remember. She wrote me and said the reason it stuck to her so much was like she had a granddad or a stepdad or something in her life that always called them little shrimps and said that's why it stuck in her mind.
I swear it was squirts.
I was saying squirts, but so maybe you just learned that from me. But we're gonna
That's
go
what
with
I
what this
heard.
monkey says. But
That's fine.
I can't remember, and I don't care enough to research it.
It started with an S and ended with an S.
That's right. Yeah.
Squirts or shrimps.
Scabs. I don't know. Okay. So, ew, sorry. So we see Chance in his new fake Escalade. That's definitely not his. He's like standing on the side of the road talking. And he goes, I don't know, man. He's just so like angsty, right? He's like smoking. He's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just tell her all the dirt. Maybe I'll just tell her everything. And I can promise her that I'll change. And then if she doesn't believe me and if she denies me, I'll just walk away for good. And then he kind of starts fake crying. And he's like, I'm finally in a position where I can do good and provide for them. And now they don't want me.
No, you're not. None of those things are true. You still don't have a job. You have no money, and from what we've seen of your skills, you lack skills.
Yeah, if what's happened on the inside of her house is an indication. It's not great.
If you can't make your own shit look right, you cannot do that for anyone else.
And so then he says, and I think this whole scene, he's shit-faced, don't you? Don't you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So he's crying. He's like, damn, bro. Like, I know she's been hurting this whole time, but I'm hurting too. And like, she didn't know that I was hurting, but I was doing all this shit behind her back. And that hurt me to know I would be hurting her. Okay.
Man, maybe at some point you should have stopped hurting yourself then, Chance. Stop hurting yourself.
So he goes, I'm going to go back and see her and we're going to talk and hopefully we'll work things out. Now, back at the house, she's cleaning things out and she's like, I just need to get rid of all the stuff in this house that reminds me every day of him because I have to start to heal and I have to take all this stuff down and I'll save it because one day it'll be nice for Mason to see it. And see, one time we were in California and we were in this photo booth that said, welcome to Jurassic Park. I was like, oh my Lord. It's more than what I was like, is Jurassic Park like a theme park that's in California you can go to? I wonder.
Yeah,
it's part of Universal Studios.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is.
All right.
Throw all that shit out.
One last thing. I'm going to change the code to the front door.
That was good.
She does that. Beep, bop, boop.
I was glad that she did that because he seems like, I mean, he broke into her house once already.
Right. So Chance is at the park and she goes to meet him and she goes, oh, here's how I want this to go. I want this to go with, you're going to start by telling the truth about everything. And he's like, Tayler, can I get you a coat? You look cold. And she's like, damn it, I wish I remembered to bring a coat because now he's got to give me a coat. So he goes and gets her a coat out of the truck, which was funny.
I would have stayed cold.
He uses that opportunity to kind of go behind her and he hugged her and he looked like he might have like kissed her in the ear or something.
He's so gross.
She didn't like it though.
He still lacks a bath.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't always look the cleanest either. Like, let's be honest.
Neither one of them. No, maybe the water, he fucked up the plumbing in their house. And I don't know, they have to use a bucket or something. And they only bathe every 4 days.
I know.
She's got a
full-time job and 4 kids. So she's like, get off me, Chance. Ew. So he tells her his intentions are to show her that, he could be honest. He's willing to work on things. And, let's just lay it out there. I am the best thing that ever happened to you and these kids.
He is fucking delusional.
He's lost his mind.
He is completely, like, I cannot believe he let those words. He should have choked on those words as he was trying to say them. Just choke.
That was crazy.
But he thinks that.
that was crazy. And he goes, when I came home, out of prison, I'm like, I had the best intentions, but you just constantly accuse me, constantly say I'm doing stuff. And it's your fault because you spoke it into existence.
She
And
really manifested that. Yeah, it's all her
she
fault.
manifested it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her and all the crystals and the moon phases and all that shit. That is the reason why everything is fucked up in their relationship.
And she's just like, okay, Chance, well, listen, you've done a lot of shitty things. Like, you lied to me about everything. Like, you met up people at a bar and you have a
Yeah.
ridiculous drinking problem.
Yeah.
Um, he goes, all I want is pizza night and Taco Tuesday and snuggle and cuddle, and my tranquility and my solitude should be at home. I mean, I just wanted to have a life, Taylor. I just want to make you happy, but you couldn't do that, could you?
You have
Um,
to be at home to have those things. You have to be at home to have pizza night and Taco Tuesday night. You have to be at home.
yeah, yes. And he
Uh,
goes, so I'll just tell you what I did wrong. Okay, I'll tell you what I
oh
did
boy.
wrong, and then we can move on. So okay, I cheated on you. And then she starts crying. She goes, you're just a straight piece of shit. Like, you're just gross.
But okay. So this is like with Joy Nomi. She already knew that.
Yes, absolutely,
She
she did.
knew. But the way she burst into tears and she was like, "You're such a piece of shit." It's like she had no clue that he had cheated on her at all. I was kind of like, you knew. I guess maybe just
I
seeing
think
the
she's
truth
trying to
was
say you're a
hurt.
straight piece of shit for trying to turn it around like I was crazy,
Okay, I hope
you
that's what
know?
it was.
So he goes, everybody I ever talked to about how you were just constantly on me and constantly accusing me of cheating, that meant you were cheating. And she goes,
Wow.
what? He goes, so one night I got so mad, I just left. I went to the bar and a chick walked up to me and was talking to me. And she was compassionate and she wanted to put my dick in her mouth. So, I just bent her over and I fucked the brains out of her. And I imagined I was doing it to you like a grudge fuck. What? What?
Wow. Yeah.
What a thing to
Okay.
say.
Yeah. You never had to admit that. You could have taken that to your grave. Why would you say
Oh
that?
my
And you're trying to
God.
get back in the house.
And she goes, I never cheated on you. I never cheated on you. I was busy raising your kid. And then she's like hitting him in the chest because she's mad.
Yeah.
And she cries. It's like, I hate you and I think you're disgusting. And he goes, yeah, though when I came home, I was 100% with you. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. And she's like, what? She was like, I never cheated on you. And he goes, but you created a fake email. And she goes, yeah, but I never cheated. I did create a fake email and you keep throwing it in my face, but you can't fuck somebody through email. Which I
No,
was
you
like,
can't.
great
Like he
point.
keeps like making that like this big thing that she did. Like there's no comparing the two.
Yeah. No comparing the two. And she goes, you're so fucked up for making me feel I was wrong. How many people did you sleep with? And he goes, I don't know. I don't know, about 5. And she goes,
Oh.
and how many were men? And he goes, 1. I mean, well, no. Okay, no. Well, I didn't sleep with the man. But all right, here's what happened. He said, what happened was, so one night I went to my buddy's house. He's gay, whatever. And I'm drunk. And he came on to me and I was like, I didn't get off or anything. I didn't do nothing. Like I didn't get penetrated, but I was like, okay. And so that was it. It is what it is. Like he tried to suck my dick. I couldn't get hard. That was it. Anyway, wasn't premeditated.
Okay, so
I
all of this was so weird because I felt like we were on Wheel of Fortune and you had to like say, "Can I have an E?" to figure out what all these blank spots were on the
I
screen.
know. I know, but you had to watch the
And
lips too. Yeah.
yes, and I'm just like, okay, Chance, no one's saying you're gay, but clearly a guy sucked your dick, so that doesn't make you all the way straight either. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
because he's
you
like, everybody does it.
bisexual. No, everyone doesn't do that.
Yeah, he's like, "So
No.
what?
Yeah, it was like
So
no big
what?"
deal. You should have he should it's there's so many things that he should have done, but he's just nasty. He's just for
Yeah,
everybody. He's for the streets. He's for
yeah.
everybody.
A hole is a
Oh,
hole. Any hole
yes,
will
it
do.
is. Yeah.
Any hole will
Yep.
do.
Mhm.
So in his
Don't care.
talking head, he goes, there are millions and millions of gay people out there, homosexuals. So, I mean, why would
Yeah.
anybody care? Why would I care if I was one of them? If I was gay, I would say it. Like, okay, all right.
Oh, but okay, Chance. The fucker needs to teach a class on gaslighting because that is
Yes.
what he did. This entire scene was just, it was awful. It was sad. And she didn't hit him hard enough.
No, he
Mm-mm.
barely moved. So Taylor says, it sounds like every story you told to get in somebody's pants was the sob story about your relationship with
Right.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, listen, girl, I'm only telling you this because I want my future to be with you. And I just want to show you that you can trust me. But, once I leave, like, that's it. That's the end. So you should make the right choice. And she just
Okay.
walks off and he goes, well, she blew it. She blew it.
Yeah, in his head, she fucked up.
It's because she didn't,
I
she
don't.
didn't take that apology.
No,
It's
she should never
crazy.
talk to him ever again. Like he doesn't even need to be around their kid the way that he is. Like
He,
he's not right in the head. That
he's
boy
on
ain't right.
something. He's on something and he
Yes,
ain't right.
he is. Well, we know that he is because he fucking stole a car and then went and used a woman's debit card at gas stations and shit like that.
Yeah, totally. And so they're doing a talking head together. It's really her, but he kind of comes in on the side
Yeah. What
and
was
he's
he
like,
holding? A baby blanket in his hand? What was that he was holding?
I saw he was holding something, but I didn't see what it was.
It was like, what? Okay. Probably a blanket of lies.
I was I was also trying to read what Sonia's hat said. She put on a little bucket hat and it said something on the
Did it
top,
say
but
something?
I couldn't
Oh,
read it
okay.
because I was watching on my computer. So he's trying to say to her, he's like, you don't deserve this. Like, I'm really sorry. And then she's like, okay, Chance, go away, please. And he's like,
Yeah.
forget it. Yeah, bleh. And he like walks off.
That is so fucking
So
immature.
So in the talking head, she says, there are some good things that came out of my relationship with Chance, like Mason, of course. But so I really learned to trust my instincts. And maybe what I need is some counseling because, I've had depression and I could use some help with my past trauma. So, yeah. Oh, thank God. Thank God,
Yeah,
Tayler.
and then she needs a separate therapist just for all the bullshit with Chance.
She really could use some help with her family and with her sister and
Yes.
these ex-fiance that died. And she's got a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a
She's been
lot.
through a
It's a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
She's got a house that's
Yes.
torn up from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so then we get the final words, the final scrolling across the
Mhm.
screen. Lindsey still has pending charges. She and Blaine
Mm.
haven't spoken since he moved out. Molly, Grace, and Lindsey are living together and working on their relationship. Blaine moved in with a friend and has his son living with him. So we
But now
still
we
don't know
know
if they're
that at some
together.
point, I think they are. We know they're
Okay.
in communication.
Okay. Because he did tell the person that I knew that's in communication with him that they were not together. But it could have been the next 3 days later, he got back together. But he said no matter what, he
Yeah.
would not be filming anymore. So
Okay. All
we'll
right.
see if that sweet, sweet Matt Sharp money draws him back.
Right.
Um, Joy hasn't spoken to Red for 2 months. She is single. Red is dating someone, not seriously. Okay.
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 I didn't like how she ruined the Native American river or creek that she threw that cheap ring in. She didn't have to do
She
that.
she did take that ring off of there. She could have taken it to the pawn shop and gotten $10. I think he spent like
750.
40 on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is considering a vasectomy and Justine
Ugh.
approves 100%. Yes, do that.
Yeah, because he's a baby making machine.
Yeah, do that. Um, Eris and Cam, who we haven't seen in 15 episodes, found
Yeah.
a new house. They gave birth to a baby girl, Charlie, right? It's a
Charlie.
girl,
Mm-hmm.
Charlie. Cute, cute, cute. And that baby does look exactly like Eris.
Exactly. Yes.
Same
Yes.
eyebrows, everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, and Lena enjoys being a big sister. And we see Lena taking care of the baby while mom and dad roller skate.
Roller skating is just like the
Roller
new
skating.
thing it's all the rage right now with
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
Yeah.
see two couples roller skating over on Prison Broads, which we're covering on
Yeah.
Pink Shade Prime,
Mhm.
by the way. Um, Brittany hopes her parents will come around to meeting Kerok, and they do plan to get married in 2024.
Okay.
Okay. Quaylen and Shavel put pause on the adoption because he's in jail again.
Mm.
But their wedding planning continues, so they say. And Shavel was wearing
Mm.
her bonnet at the dinner table. Did you notice that?
I mean, I've been known to wear a bonnet at a dinner table in my
Yeah.
house,
Yeah,
just
she's
not
had
on
her own.
not in. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wear my bonnet all day long if I'm not
Is
going
it
anywhere.
is it comfortable or it's just to protect your hair?
It's to protect your hair, but it's comfortable.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Um, Melissa's nose is still
Mhm.
healing, but she loves her new look. And Louis is working at a pizzeria and saving for an engagement ring.
All right. Good.
All
Good.
right.
Good.
Tayler and Chance are no longer together. Praise Jesus.
Thank God.
Chance was arrested for tampering with a motor vehicle, but was released on bail. But then I guess that's when he got arrested again for like wrecking that car and stealing the debit
Yeah.
card. And yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
full out tampered a motor vehicle. Maybe he
I
hot
don't know
wired
what that,
somebody's car, but he stole it, right?
I don't know, but he also got into that accident and fled the scene, and he's done a
Yeah.
lot of other stuff since the season wrapped up.
Yeah, because they didn't mention this Quaylen situation on
Uh-uh.
here.
Uh-uh.
Or that like Britney and Kerok didn't one of them had to go back to jail for a week for like speeding or something.
I think they both did. I know she went
Yeah.
back for like a week. They both have gone back, and it was both for speeding and stupid shit like that young people do.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean and Sarah are paying their debt and their new home should be ready in 2025. And we see an aerial shot of them tearing down that burned down house.
Thank God.
And they are now
Thank
living with a toddler in a full construction site.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like the two of them. Does it
Yes, it
not?
does. 100%. Yep.
Well, y'all, so next, let's see. Okay, next week we will not have Love After Lockup because we're gonna start Mama June. If you want any and all Mama June coverage, I encourage you to listen to the Libra Lounge with Keisha because she covers Mama June over there. She loves that
Oh my
show and she
God.
covers it
It's
on the
so
Libra Lounge with Keisha.
good. It is so, if you love trashy television, like beyond Love After
Yeah.
Lockup, it is trash. It's so it's fascinating. It's entertaining. It's funny. There's moments where you cry. It's about family. It is all the good feels.
Okay. So if y'all are into that show, that's where you're going to get your recaps for that. Next week in this spot, I'm going to put out a bonus episode of Prison Brides that we're covering over on Pink Shade Prime. So you can hear Keisha and I recap that. There was a bonus episode of that a couple of weeks ago as well. And then drum roll. Keisha and I are going to be covering here and on Pink Shade Prime. We're going to be covering Love is Blind, the new season. So what you're going to get is here the next week we'll have episode 1 will be here. That's the first episode because they're going to drop, I believe they drop 1 through 5, 1 through 6, something. So whatever is the first one they drop, you will get it here on the free feed. The rest of them that are dropped all at once will be on Pink Shade Prime. Then the next week, whatever's the first one that they drop, that one will be here. If it's 5, they drop 5, 6, and 7, and it's 5, we'll drop 5 right here. But I want to say it's like 7 through 9 or something like that. That'll be dropped right here. And then the other 2 will be on Pink Shade Prime. Same thing. So every week going forward, there will be 4 weeks of drops for Love is Blind. And every week we will bring you whatever is the first episode they drop. We'll remind you week to week what we're doing. It'll be posted on Pink Shade Instagram and all that. But we're going to be covering Love is Blind. We're going to cover it all the way through to the finale. We'll probably end up doing like the tell all and stuff here on the free feed. So you'll have that to look forward to until we get Life After Lockup back.
In April.
Yeah. And do you know for sure it's in April? Like I have tried to ask.
That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I've been trying to ask for the specific date for my calendar purposes, but nothing. So we have got you covered here with Love is Blind on Mondays. So again, if you're into Mama June, Libra Lounge to Keisha, that's where to go. Tomorrow I'll be back with Kimberly for 90 Day Fiance, and this Thursday, I have Meredith Lynch coming to talk on about Bravo. Mostly we'll be talking about Vanderpump Rules. Meredith is a super, super famous, like 6-digit TikToker person, like 400,000 people on TikTok. She's very funny.
Wow.
And she's friends with the other Meredith Constant, who's on the weekends. This weekend over on Pink Shade Bunkies, our $5 level of Patreon, and Supercast, we had Bunkie Takeover with Meredith and Amy. I have not even had a chance to listen to it because I just got off this boat where I couldn't get podcast and whatnot. So I'm very excited tomorrow on the plane to listen to that Bunkie Takeover.
Wow.
Bunkie Takeover. Love it. Love it. Those two had never met. And you've done a Bunkie Takeover one time. You did one with Amy
and Kimberly. And they're so much fun. Like literally, it was my first time ever talking to either one of them. And I had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do we got to do to get Mary Payne out of here so we can do more of these? Just kidding.
My gosh. The inmates are taking over the asylum.
Inmates are taking over. Yes, we're pushing out the warden.
The warden. Oh, Lord. Okay, everybody make sure to follow Keisha on Instagram at the Libra Lounge with Keisha. Follow me at Pink Shade Pod. If you have any questions about what's coming up this week or the schedule, it's always going to be there. And if you have any insight into any of these prisoners while we take a break from them, please always reach out and let us know. We always love any inside scoop you can give, especially Keisha. She loves it.
Because I'm nosy. I love it.
She's nosy, and I'm nosy too, and I like to have some hashtag journalism. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, new stickers in the store, hashtag journalism.
Oh, nice.
Go Pink Shade store. If you just go to pinkshadepodcast.com, you can link to Pink Shade Prime. You can link to the store. You can link to like an Amazon storefront. This weekend, I heard about something called LTK. Like to know.
Like to know. Yes.
Like to know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters who are 6 and 4 years older than me told me about that. I was like, how come I don't know about like to know?
Because you didn't know.
I don't know about it, but I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look about getting a like to know.
Yeah. No, there you go.
There you go. Okay, everybody. I will talk to you tomorrow with Kimberly. Bye, Keisha.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.